Good morning, Arsene. Obviously, very disappointing news about Jack Wilshere. Could you give us your take on that, please?
Well, I think you know the essential. I believe, first of all, it was accidental and that he will be out for 6 weeks. And that will give him, of course, it's a blow for him, for us. And from now on, you want to get him to recover as quickly as possible. You want to help him to come back as quickly as possible and prepare for the rest of the season.
Have you spoken to Jack? How's he taken it?
You can only be very down in a situation like that, especially in the first days. He's in a boot and he's gone away a few days to get a little bit away from trouble, and disappointment, and think about something else.
Obviously, there's a big game at the weekend. Jack's out. Any other team news?
We have a doubt about Koscielny, who has come back with a hamstring and didn't play for France. And all the other players came back in a good shape.
And a word about the game itself. Obviously, FA Cup tie, Emirates Stadium, semi-final in sight. Massive game. How much importance are you going to put on this game in comparison to the games that are coming up within the next week, of course?
Well, it's a quarter-final of the FA Cup, and we want to do well, and we want to qualify and to win. And that's the best way for us to prepare all the other games.
Just to ask a bit more, if I can, about Jack. It's yet another setback in a series of setbacks for him, isn't it?
It is, yes. But it's an accident on a good ankle.
You think it was an accident, as Daniel Agger's tackle?
I think so. The tackle was strong, but I think he wanted to go for the ball, yes.
Obviously the England team physio is a man you know well. What do you make of his handling of the situation, allowing Jack to play on for so long?
At some stage, it's the player who gives you the indication. It's the pain of the player that gives you the indication. And you trust always the player. Sometimes you give him a few minutes when a guy has been touched like that. You give him a few minutes to tell you how he feels, and if there's no pain, we are not at the point where you can make an instant check-up with an X-ray to see how big the damage is. It's most of the time it's the indication of the player that tells you if he can go on or not.
Was it always agreed with you that he would only play 60 minutes?
I had no agreement, no.
And just finally on this, really, is it beginning to get to him in his mind, the setbacks he keeps having?
Look, it's certainly very difficult that when you are his age, you want to play, get up in the morning, jump out of bed and go on the football pitch and play. And when you're not capable to do that without any restriction, it's difficult mentally. And certainly it has a weight on his mind, and I hope that that's his last accident before a long, long time.
Can I just ask you again, finally, what have you said to him?
Well, just that we are all sorry for what happened to him, and to get well soon,
Well, there's been talk all week about new contracts with Santi Cazorla and Aaron Ramsey. Do you have any news on either of those?
Not yet, no, but we are very close.
How close?
Very.
So half an hour after we finish, you'll announce?
Well, we will announce you as soon as we are over the line.
Okay. Can I ask you as well about the injury situation regarding Kim Karlstrom and Aaron Ramsey, obviously given the Wilshere injury?
Yes.
How close are they?
Aaron Ramsey is 1 week away. I think the next 2 games are coming too soon, but for the weekend after he should be available. And Karlstrom as well.
That's good news.
Yes.
And finally, I know you have a mixed relationship with Alan Pardew over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Your view on his latest difficulties?
Well, he apologized. Of course, he was wrong in his behavior, and he apologized. And how much will he be punished? I don't know.
You glad that he didn't headbutt you?
Look, yes, of course, because our confrontation didn't go as far as that, but we are all under pressure, and sometimes, of course, we have always to be under control and control our attitude. He knows that he did it wrong, and he apologized for that, and it's no need to add much more to that.
Arsene, March is traditionally a month over the last sort of 7, 8, 9 years where you've dipped away.
No,
well,
I don't agree with you.
Okay.
If you can prove that with numbers,
I can't prove it with numbers. I can prove it when I look at the trophies that you haven't won in that time.
No, that has nothing to do, because you can lose the championship in October.
Okay. This time
if you can show me with numbers that we in March we are dipped away, we can have a conversation.
Okay. My point then. What can be different about this year in terms of Arsenal's ability to get over the line and win a trophy or two?
What is different is that we are in a better position to do it. That's, of course, the first thing. The second thing is that we are ready for battle and show that on the pitch that we are ready for this battle. And overall, that what is different is to show that we have matured mentally, and we are, as you know, in a much better position to do it.
Mathieu Flamini, a player who's come back to Arsenal, who knew what it was like to win trophies or be close to a winning team back in 2004, 2005. He's 30 today. What has he given your team? Because clearly, with Jack being injured now, he might essentially come into his own even more. What's he given you?
His work rate, his balance, better defensive security, and the balance. He does the work that people don't always see, and it's not because people don't see it that it's not important. That part of important work in the team that stabilizes the team and gives them security to express.
What about his mentality as well? We saw him with Mesut Ozil in the game against Bayern Munich, making a point or two. What about that leadership?
You know, that's very important. It's vital, and when you're 21, 22, you're not in a position to do it with your partners, but when you're 30, you feel, no, I have gone through a lot, and I'm now in a position where I can do that, and you want that from your players.
Arsene, just
Thanks. Arsene, winning the FA Cup, is it one of your top priorities?
It is one of the priorities. The top priority is always to do well in the Premiership, and but the FA Cup is our next game. We had a disappointing result at Stoke. For us, it's very important to come back with a strong response, and the FA Cup is our absolute priority just because it's our next game.
Arsene, you made 7 changes for the last cup game. Are we likely to see something similar?
Oh, 7 would be a bit too much.
So is it going to be a team selection though, maybe with Bayern in mind?
No, I think not at all. No, just a team selection that will consider the team with a good chance to win tomorrow. That's all.
Because the timing of these international fixtures in March must be quite disruptive.
It is disruptive. Nobody would deny that. But Everton is facing the same problem. Bayern Munich is facing the same problem. So we just want to deal as well as we can with it.
I think UEFA are talking about introducing this week of football for the qualifier in 2016, where they play maybe Thursday, Sunday, or Friday, Tuesday.
They should play in 1 week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because as you have noticed, in the next qualifiers, you will have next European Championship. You have 24 teams at the European tournament, and you have 53 countries affiliated to UEFA. That means that 1 country out of 2 will qualify. So the qualifiers will have basically no meaning for the big countries. And the qualification round becomes a little bit less meaningful, not to say useless, because all the big countries will be there. You must really not want to qualify, not to go there.
Will that make it even be more reluctant to release players? I know some FA's forced.
No, we release the players. We respect the international rules, when it's for qualifiers. We respect the international rules, and the players' aspiration is to do well for their country, and I personally respect that hugely. Is there, if you ask me, is there sometimes a conflict of interest between the club and country? You know that, but that's an old story, and nobody has found a solution, and many very intelligent people have looked at it, but nobody has found the solution that satisfies always both parties.
Just to clarify on Jack, you said 6 weeks in that statement. Do you expect him to play again this season?
Yes. There's 11 weeks to go. He will be out for 6 weeks before he can absorb normal training. Maximum after 6 weeks, I think, before being competitive in the game, because he will work on his fitness during his injury. His injury will not stop him to work on fitness, so 2 weeks after he should be competitive. That means maximum to be competitive to play in a game 8 weeks.
Koscielny's injury?
Koscielny is a hamstring, but his scan is clear, but we'll have to test him today.
And any other internationals problems? No. Will Arsenal be compensated financially for Wilshere's loss? That's
Look, honestly, we have not spoken about that. I don't know what kind of activity we can, what we can do about that. Our concern yesterday was not the financial side of it, it's more the shock that we lose a player, a very competitive player for the final part of the season. The finances are not my main worry at the moment.
But is this maybe now an opportunity for other players to step into that gap, because you have Ramsey back, Kallstrom might be close as well, so you've got a few options, haven't you?
Yes, of course, we have options, but we would have loved to have one more option.
Just looking slightly further ahead, if I can, to next week's game, with the tie being poised as the way it is, does that give you a dilemma between going all out to score the 2 goals, or kind of just to try and to stay in the tie to not let Bayern get out of sight completely?
No, honestly, we'll have to go out there and go for it, because even the worst going to the worst, you can think at the start you have to score 3 goals. That means even if they scored 1, that would not change our problem. So I believe that we have to be proactive there and score goals.
Arsene, you said it was an accident with Jack, and going forward, hopefully you will be playing again this season. Would you have a word with her at any stage and say we just need to see how he finishes the season, because obviously this is a worry for him at the moment with the injury setbacks he's having, and you don't want to lose him again in the summer, potentially losing him in the start of next season?
No, honestly, I don't agree with you, because any player has an opportunity to go to the World Cup. You don't want to talk him out of that. That's a lost job. You want to encourage him to go to the World Cup and show, because the meaning it has for a player to go to a World Cup is immense, and I will do absolutely everything that he can get there.
So I meant in the preparation for that, obviously England go out to Miami, they have a training camp, just to sort of take it easier with him than maybe they would have done.
No, I think a fracture is a fracture. It's not the muscular or ligament. Once it is healed, you don't need to have any restriction in your preparation.